Well, hello, how are you? It's Del from Del's Lane. Welcome back again. Today we're actually going to do something just a little bit different. Today I wanted to begin this program that I've decided to do, and that's about sharing my friends who are healers with you. And why I felt that this was important is because I think there is so many healers out there that are able to help so many people that haven't even been aware of what's out there to actually help them. As I've said before in some of my posts, when we actually are ill within our physical body, we actually can go to the doctors and, we ask the doctors to help us, and they help us with our physical body. The thing is that internally, we can have a lot of trapped emotions, okay? And there are healers out there that can help you to release those trapped emotions, okay? That actually turn into physical illness, okay? So if we were to delve in deeper to be able to look deep into those emotions, we're going to be able to help you to heal, okay? So on that note, this is one of the very first in this series that I'm doing, okay, for healers. And today I would like to introduce you to my wonderful friend, Tess, and Tess is from Together Healing. Okay, how are you, Tess? Thank you so much for coming on and doing this today.
Oh, I'm awesome, Dallas. Thank you so much for having me on this, inaugural, is that the word?
Yeah, very first one. And I think it's going to be the first for many, and it's going to help so many. So
it's very exciting.
Yeah, it is. This whole time within, you've heard so often about people saying that this is a very exciting time for all people, especially light workers and healers, isn't it? Because this is our time where we can actually help to raise the vibration of the
humanity.
world. Isn't it? Of humanity, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly why we are here, Dallas, why everyone's here on the planet at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We were born for this.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. So we have discussed all this already, so I already know, but I'm going to ask you the questions today so you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your healing modality and what it is that you do to help others to heal as well. So can you tell us, first of all, what made you decide to become a healer?
Oh, I guess it's not the word healing as such, but it's been a long growth since my late teens or my early mid-teens. I've been on a self-empowerment course all my life, and the last couple of years has given me redirection to an opportunity came my way last year, and oh my God, I just grabbed it with everything and just knew this was the path and my life purpose.
Absolutely. Yes. Excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about your healing modality that you actually work with to help others?
Well, my healing, you call it modality, is I use energy.
Mm-hmm.
I work with energy, which is our life source.
Yeah.
And I delve into people's emotions and use their emotions and feelings to find the source or the base of their illnesses, their symptoms and whatnot. Yes. So again, illness, if people don't know, really illness is a block from our energy, our life source. These may be new words to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that are in my realm that they're going to go, life source. Well, it's our energy. Like, where does we get energy? So it comes from the universe, it comes from life source. And when we have illnesses and symptoms, that source is blocked, causing those.
Okay. And so also what I was mentioning earlier in regards to having some trapped emotions as well. So that can also cause blockages?
Absolutely. And that's from perceived traumas in our lives, childhood traumas, life dramas, when something comes at us that we basically perceive we can't handle that situation and emotions, then we block ourselves off. We cut that that energy, and then that causes, so there's no energy flowing. Energy doesn't flow, and that will cause symptoms. If it's not rectified, if it's not dealt with, it will cause serious illnesses.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. And there's so much of that going on in the world, isn't it? With so many people as well, not realizing the connection between the physical body and the emotional body, and just our energy and how it needs to flow. And when there is no flow, that's when you get the stuck energy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the problems. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it that, so in your sessions, let's say, what is it that clients could expect from your session?
Well, outcomes, I'm thinking the outcomes are more clarity in their lives, more feeling of lightness, because they are releasing. Once they release, we find and release these, whether they're energies, attachments, then they do feel lighter, they feel clearer clarity. There's always like little exercises to do afterwards. Keeping yourself grounded is a big one for everyone. We need to be more grounded, more connected to our energy and earth. It just comes to me yesterday, the day it was, with our national anthem. They changed the first words recently, and I love it. We all Australians, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, mind you, free, but we are one. We're all connected. There's no, when they try to divide us with our opinions, whatever, but really we are one.
In connection with each other, in one consciousness as well.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's interesting, Tess, because there was something that I noticed this morning. So I spoke to somebody on the phone yesterday, and she'd been ill for 2 days. Okay. And then I spoke to her, and then I messaged her this morning. I said, I've actually woken up with a really sore throat. And she came back and she said, well, actually, that was funny, that because that's how I started with my sickness. Now, she actually lives in America. So we didn't get it from being in contact with each other physically. Because our energy is connected, and the thing is that, which makes me realize, is that, and to tell everybody as well, to be able to heal a person, you don't have to be in person. No. You can, and as I just said, talking to that person, that friend of mine in America, and then even getting the same illness or the symptoms as her, means that I picked up on her energies. So
yes,
the thing is that, you can help a person still. It doesn't matter whether they're in America or New Zealand or anywhere in Australia, you're going to be able to help them because your energy is connected via the internet as well. Would that be correct?
That's correct. And the whole thing about me being a healer, I'm not so much a healer. I can heal myself, yes. What I do in the sessions is I help people heal themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So they learn, how to go in and transmute their heavy energies.
Yeah.
And to move from those lower vibration energies of grief and sadness, and move them on up, and even anger and guilt. And then, we work through them. We find the original issue.
Yeah.
And then we work with it and keep things light and happy. It's it's very hard, as in there will be tears, you got to have your tissues ready, because you need to deal with these things to release them. And then you flow up into the higher vibration energies, of excitement and happiness and joy and peace, which is where we want to be.
And so would you say that, how many sessions do you think it would take for a person to feel what you're saying about feeling high vibe and feeling the peace and the joy. Do you think that is one session enough for everybody?
One session is enough. That usually deals with, hopefully you can get to the main issue. But one session is enough for that person to go away and feel much better. If that session is successful, well, that's all you need. And then again, for yourself, you go on and you keep yourself in those feelings, in those vibrations, high vibrations, heart full of love. I've got to say, love is everything. You know, if you can keep your love in your heart, love in your head, that's taking you out of the negative emotions and into the positive.
Yeah,
where we want to be.
So if there was people that, so what you're saying is that you are able to shift certain ways of thinking or certain old beliefs as well, would you say? Yeah?
Yes, that's limiting beliefs. When we find the energies that are blocked, that's limiting beliefs. By blocking your energies, you form thought patterns that I can't do this, I don't want to do that. They're limiting you. They're limiting your life experiences. So once we come up, find those limiting beliefs, then we will reverse them. We will change them around, yeah. And you change it around yourself.
It sounds like a really, really powerful healing that you do as well.
It is. And it's just
wonderful. Life-changing, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you say, I mean, as you know myself, and I think everybody knows, is that I myself have had a lot of issues that I've had to heal from, and I didn't have something like this for what you're offering, so it took a long time as well. And you know, before this video, you and I were talking about our dreams from last night, which were, yours was great, I loved yours, but mine was showing me about, and I think the most important thing that came out of that was that finally I've healed from, let's say, narcissistic abuse. And that it's about also having forgiveness, and you don't have to trust a person, but you can still heal from it by forgiving and just not being scared of it. So would you say also, if it was let's say anything, a trauma of some sort, that there is that fear that's deep down inside, and that might be the thing that you actually come to release as well?
Absolutely, that's it. Definitely fear-based, that's one of the lowest vibrations.
Yeah, we know about that, but now, don't we?
Yes, we do, don't we all? Yes.
We won't get into that.
Not today.
Whole another story.
I'll just have to say my dream, because you put it out there, everybody. I dreamt that I moved to a new home and I was living on Magic Street.
Magic Street, I know. Was it always that? And then how beautiful. And then I got to talk about the card that fell out for me this morning. Nothing is coincidence, is it? Everything, as you said, we're all connected. And you told me this after I'd pulled this card, and then I sent you the photo, and it said magical powers, feminine divine. I love that. That gave me goosebumps. Work connections and inspiration. I mean, could that be any more real for today? Yeah,
that's spot on.
Real. And yeah, even picked up magical powers. Oh,
yes,
I love it. And I think that when people are not, when everybody or people are closed off to that, they can create their own life, with just changing their belief and their way of working with life. I mean, you can go all out there like we do and call it magic, but it's beautiful. It's a miracle. It's a blessing when you see yourself out of the other side of that fear-based lifestyle, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is truly amazing. Life is just amazing. I thought it was amazing before, because I've had a beautiful, great, colourful life. with some issues that now, since I am so trusting in the universe and myself.
Yeah.
Because actually that's where most of our power that's where all of our power comes from, is in ourselves, as being connected to the universe. And
that's right. Yes.
Self-worth, self-love. You got
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So now we had a few other questions which we'll go through as well. Okay. Now, can you tell me, one thing we spoke about was the client insight.
What? Right. Yeah. Once I have contacted, like, also if people are wanting to talk to me, wanting to be healed in some manners, you know, they've got to kind of be really in a lot of pain. They've got to be really ready to heal this way. And a lot of people aren't. So through a form, once we connect, through a form I will send, it's just a quick A4, I think there's about nine questions, and they're not big answers, just to get for them to put down their notes of what it is they are wanting to fix in their lives, or wanting to change in their lives. So that I get a quick bit of information before our actual healing session, which again can be done in person, can be done on Zoom, because we know that energy is, we just have to connect by talking. We don't need to see each other. We don't actually, you can have your cameras off if that's what you prefer. But so, and that will give me, the insights form gives me an insight to what they're about.
Okay. And so the questions that you would be asking on that client insight would actually get the ball rolling in the healing already, isn't it? Because people would delve in too deep within to try and find the answers already.
That's right. If they're honest with themselves.
Starting the process of healing, even with the first initial connection between the two of you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if I don't find that they're ready, you know, I'll probably know that they're ready, and then they may even find out themselves that they're not ready. So I was going to say something else on that, being ready or not being ready. It's gone.
That's okay. That's all right. When you're connecting with spirit or your intuition, sometimes that happens, doesn't it? Because there's so much information coming through as well.
Yes.
So it happens. Now, one of the other things that we were going to talk about today was truth popping. That's interesting, isn't it? Truth popping. What is that about?
That is the system I use in the session. So once we're into the session, and also the cure, the letters cure, C-U-R-E. So I go through a system. Firstly, I connect with the energy. And I also call them, they're also called entities, but we'll talk about entities another day.
Okay, yeah.
I connect with the energy, which is basically the client finding their trauma spot, or finding the initial issue that this has come from. So that's connecting. Then I go to understanding, and with questions, we understand what that energy is about and why it's held on so long. And that will give, thoughts and questions will come to the client to learn a lesson. So this understanding is learning a lesson from the energy.
Yeah.
R is releasing it. So once we get a message, then we can work on how to change the perceived or the limited belief.
Yeah.
Got to change that belief that they have. And so in the end, once we understand it, we have a bit of fun. You've got to have fun with energy too, and laugh and swear. Some people, you ask them if they can, has a name. This energy has a name or something. Oh my God. Some of the language that comes out is not accepted on, I won't say on the street, but it's generally not accepted. And that's okay, because that's what's feeling. You got to bring it out. Whatever's feeling comes out. So you have fun with it too. And it's been in part of your life for a long time. So you've got to give it love, because you're going to release it. You've got to let that go and bring love in to replace it. And there is part of your soul out there that it replaced in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, we release it and then we evolve on. And evolving it includes that, changing your beliefs, changing your thought patterns, doing exercises, grounding exercises, finding your power within, and self-worth, and that, lots of empowering exercises.
Yeah. While you were talking about that, I had the thought about, and you tell me what you think about it, is that a lot of people, when that trauma that's, down there, let's say from childhood, okay, when it's down deep, but it's now showing in your physical ailment in one way or another, people, I would say, only see it now as physical. And so what you're now doing is saying, okay, well, the physical is now a byproduct of what has been hidden down, repressed, down deep. So that's where we need to delve in really, really deep.
Which we do that, we delve in deep through the physical element.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not thinking about the trauma. They're thinking about the physical element.
Correct.
Wherever their pain is, whether it's inside organs, it's outside muscular. That's what they've come to me. I've got this horrible pain. Yeah. And that's where we start. Where we start. And through that pain is when we go deep in and, hey, there's that trauma. Remember that?
Yeah. And then, so a lot of people would be, or there would be a lot of tears for many, wouldn't there?
A lot of tears. A lot of people don't want to go there. And it's each to their own. That's where I have in my Together Healing, my little catchphrase is love and let live.
Yeah. Okay.
We love ourselves. We let everybody else live.
And if everybody went with that, Tess, wouldn't the world be a different place?
It's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. We hope so. We hope everybody gets on board this healing journey, isn't it? Feel the hard feelings and release them and let them go.
Yes. And we're doing this for humanity. Again, when we change, we help everybody else.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And it is about making that difference, and you one by one with each person. And this is all healers and intuitives. Like, we are all intuitive, but we all have different modalities of helping people. And even in that 1 hour where things just change for that person, they feel better, come away feeling hope, that you've helped that one person. And then in return, that one person, when they get home to the rest of their family, their energy has changed as well. So a lot is going to change around them as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's not to say that those people aren't going to change altogether that are around that person.
No.
But there is going to be shifts that they will see, and to keep going with the healing as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you so after the session, what happens with the client, with you, and what happens with the client afterwards, would you say?
Okay, well, sessions also can take up from 20 minutes. They can happen in 20 minutes, and obviously more time. The client will come out feeling lighter, feeling probably more connected to everything around them.
Yeah.
Nature, families. In some cases, because there's a lot going on, they may get other symptoms. I had a girl last week who the next day, because I will follow up, of course, to keep a check on my clients, and she came up with body aches and what was the other thing? I think was it runny nose or something?
Okay.
Yeah, so
she was having a release as well, still a physical release from it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, absolutely. And I explained to her that this is what's going to happen once you release some heavy emotions. And I told her to go swimming, go grounding, and she, the next day after that, much better.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that healing process. These energies that have been in us for so long, some of them are not too fussed. They're happy where they are. They're happy keeping you down and keeping you in that safe spot.
Yeah.
So, but as we know now, we are more than this. We don't need to have this control of heavy emotions and traumas and fears. So we're beautiful beings that need to be awake and alive and living a life to our best.
I love what you just said about the control of the fear, and because it is about when we do have that fear, it does control us. But in the same way, isn't it, that, and earlier when you mentioned about, connecting with the energy force, okay, and I thought to myself, anybody who has had great trauma in their life often show a lot of signs of control, because they are separated from that energy force, not believing that there is flow, not believing in, so they, and as a trauma response, or as a, they just need to control the outside environment so they feel safe.
Yes,
yeah. So then they can start to release that control, and that's where their external environment will also begin to change, because they've released trying to control everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, releasing their attachments. And I think attachments is something else that we'll talk another time. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot to talk about another time as well. So, okay. We'll talk about the entities and dark attachments later, but we'll sort of wrap it up now. But one thing before we leave that I think is really important for everybody to know, whether you're healing, whether you're not healing, that's grounding. We as light workers understand grounding, okay, because we understand the energy connection and how it can affect us and what we need to do to release that. So tell us about grounding in your own words, and what people can do to become more grounded, and how doing that grounded will affect them.
Okay, grounding, I think has at the moment two kind of ideas for me. It is like grounding is also connecting with all our energies. And then there's grounding is in earthing, where you go out and you stand barefoot on the ground, on the sand, in the water. And take time for meditation. That's actually, meditation's not as scary as it used to be. Meditation is as simple as standing or sitting at on the ground, looking at the beach, looking at the trees in a park, and just being quiet, and just practicing on quietening your mind, which there's thoughts are going crazy monkey mind. Some people will get a kick out of the monkey mind, because it's a very big thing that people cannot stop the thoughts going on in their head. But breathing, love breathing, exercise breathing, and that quietness time, just looking at the sky, connecting with the sky and the sun and the air, connecting yourself, bringing all that into your body, and then also bringing it up from the earth through your feet, bringing all the ground, the earth's vibrations. That's actually one exercise. So there are lots of ways to ground, and it's not just by standing barefoot on the earth. It's also by being connected mind and your heart, connecting your heart mainly. So I say love, I connect with love most importantly. I see that love is our superpower for humanity. Love is our superpower, and this is where we want to keep in mind, keep in the heart, so that just spreads. It just spreads without even doing anything.
So what do you think if a person was to ground, let's say on a daily basis, because we do take in so much from other people, from the news. If you watch the news, I don't watch the news, I'm not a news watcher, but anyway, there's a lot that goes on, even your movies, whether they be horror movies or any sort of movies. And you do take a lot of that in, don't you? So what do people, if they were to ground, what would they expect afterwards, after grounding? How would they expect their life to become more How would that go in what
Just
direction?
Finding more peaceful, finding more peace in your life. And like, people are not going to stop watching TV and watching movies. There's the old thing, and we have to put up boundaries so we don't get the effects from this or from them. Now I've now found that boundaries cause you not to feel, and this healing is all about feeling and emotions. So rather than boundaries, we build up our own energies, we build up our own vibes, we again, meditate and ground to feel higher, feel lighter, and that way we can still help people. But we're not going to take in, we're more going to give them good vibrations rather than taking anything in.
Okay.
So and personally, I only read biographies, and I only read self-empowering books. And I watch a half-hour sitcom maybe once or maybe two a night. And I'm getting to the point where I mute the ads.
Because it's
just over and over, and it's just no. And at the moment I don't have time for movies. So the occasional one, and if I'm told to, this is good, or you should watch this. So it's about moving ourselves on to better places, heart and mind.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that this is a marvelous thing that you're doing in regards to trying to help others to be able to live a better life. And what I always say is that there is a healer for everybody, okay? And there might be one person that will be absolutely connected to you. There will be another person that's absolutely connected to another healer. And each person has, like attracts like as well. But you're also connected, let's say, by the cosmos, let's just say, to be able to connect, because each one of us has a reason for being in each other's lives as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I thank you so much. We are going to leave it there, but thank you so much for that. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, Tess, how might they get in touch with you? But I will put the description in the bottom as well. So, but if you want to tell everybody how to get in touch with you. Okay.
Well, it will be through my email at the moment, which is tesshuxley69@gmail.com.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tess, and we look forward to speaking to you again on many other things and seeing how you're going.
Thank you so much, Dallas. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.